To my grade 11 UM station and to all literature wizards of DCNHS SHS, good day everyone. I am Sir Enrico, your 21st century hashtag millennial teacher will discuss to you the session for the quarter 2 module 2 part 1 of our subject. But before that, let's have an opening prayer. Heavenly Father, we ask your guidance and we give you thanks and exalt your name on high for this session. Give us a wisdom that we need to understand, comprehend, and be able to apply the knowledge we're about to partake for this session. We ask your guidance and also forgiveness to our shortcomings. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Are you ready to have this wonderful adventure? Yes, fasten your seatbelt and enjoy. Let's start. Before we start this lesson, I want you to have and greet you a very momentous day because what I'm wearing here, as you can observe, I'm not wearing the school uniform. Why? We gathered here today virtually to continue our discussion. Last meeting, Module 1, we will continue the Module 2, even though despite of the turmoils, challenges brought to us by pandemic, we still need to learn to keep us being strong, not just physically, but also mentally. As you can observe, I am wearing today a uniform taken from a literary piece which is considered as one of the famous and successful story of all time. Yes. Do you have a hint? Okay, I will give you hint. For that, we have a hashtag lingid sa inyong kaalaman for this session. Every time I will give you a trivias. Okay, first, trivia. This costume of mine that I'm wearing today, in order for you to appreciate literature, this story contains 4 houses. And that is the house Gryffindor, the house Hufflepuff, the house Ravenclaw, and the house Slytherin. Have a hint? Very good. Taken from a literary piece entitled Harry Potter. We will state a statement, also an information about that later on. Let's continue. Today, having a pandemic, we are just staying at home. We cannot travel. We cannot go to places that we are very fond of it. We cannot take picture or groovy. No worries, but virtually, let's have a world tour. No need for ticket, just fasten your seatbelt and relax and just also listen and participate virtually. Okay, as your literature wizard for today, let's have a glimpse of the world's finest tourist destination and guess the site and the country where we can find that. Are you ready? Okay, let's have the first destination. 3 seconds. Time is up. And the correct answer is very good. The London Bridge and can be found in England, United Kingdom. Next. Woo! Next destination. 3 seconds. Time is up. And the correct answer is Statue of Liberty and can be found in the New York City, United States of America or USA. Next, 3 seconds. Very good. That is the Parthenon from the Athens, Greece. Hashtag lingid sa inyong kalaman. Parthenon used during the Greek times as the temple of Athena, one of the goddess of the Greek mythology. You can search Athena more on Google. You can see her pages. Next, 3 seconds. Wow. Yes, that is the Venice Grand Canal. Can be found in the city of Venice, Italy. Next, yes, very good. That's right. The Sagrada Familia, found in the Barcelona, Spain. Hashtag lingid sa inyong kaalaman. Sagrada Familia, first constructed the year 1883 with an architect named Francisco de Paula del Villar. But he say, I'm off. Okay, umalis siya. That the construction of the church resumed by this Spanish Catalan architect named Antoni Gaudi. And up to now, for your information, that church is still under hashtag construction. Still not yet done. Okay? The Sagrada Familia. Also featured in one of the top grossing film of all time in the Philippine movie, that is the Barcelona A Love Untold. Very good. You're a very fan of Katniel. Huh? Okay, next. The Eiffel Tower from the Paris, France. The, yes, the country of love. Sana all my love. Okay. Next, we have 3 seconds. That's nice. That is the Great Wall of China. It can be found in the Huairu district, China. Next, 3 seconds. That is the Mount Fuji from island of Honshu, Japan. Hashtag lingid sa inyong kaalaman. Also in Japan, we can find the Harry Potter theme park, which is the most anticipating and accurate theme park in depicting one of the famous literature of all time, the Harry Potter. Okay, next. 3 seconds. Time is up. That is the Taj Mahal and can be found in Dharmapuri, Agra, India. Hashtag lingid sa inyong kalaman, Taj Mahal is not a museum. That is a mausoleum. Okay? You can see more information about Taj Mahal on Google. Yes, that is a mausoleum, not a museum. Okay, next. Last picture. 3 seconds. Yes, very good. Our own city, the Gupen city here in our country, Philippines. Yes, you're all familiar with that. So be proud that the Gupen city is one of the finest destinations around the world. Now, before we start the discussion, I hope that you are very happy now and ready to listen and be proud of our discussion for today. Let's have first the lesson objective. We will be able to identify the 21st century English and American writers and their literary contributions. And also, we'll be able to compare and contrast the various 21st century literary genres and their elements, structures, and traditions, especially from the first part, the United Kingdom and the USA. Okay, last module, in module 1, we read a short story entitled An Earnest Parable, written by, yes, Merlinda Bobbies. This literary piece is about the daily life between the 5 migrants from around the globe who resided in one neighborhood called Bessel Street and shared diverse languages and delicacies. The tongue referred to as a piece of pink flesh for them or an animal, meaning it's a living thing, okay, which is also developed and shared to one another. That is also one of the major contributions of the continuation of our discussion for the module 2 to the various 21st century literary genres from across the globe, especially first the English and American literature. But before we understand the two literatures that we are going to feature for today, let's have an understanding, why is it 21st century? Are you also wondering why? From the moon and the stars and the entire universe and the sun? How on earth? How on sun? It is a first 21st century literature. Okay, according to some prominent writer and website, according to Virginia Woolf, one of the greatest also writer, on or about December 1910, human character changed. Something major happened to literature on or about December 2000. That is her prediction. But as millennial found in the famous Google, according to him, the 21st century is the current century in the Anno Domini era, or the Common Era, in accordance with the Gregorian calendar. It began on January 1, 2001, and will end on December 31, 2100. And the 21st century is the first century of the third millennium. It will have a short math. How old are you during 2100? Okay, maybe we are very, very old. Okay. So for these two major literary pieces that we are going to feature for today, they contributed in our world literature. Why? We will answer that later on. Okay, for us to truly understand the essence of the 21st century literature that we are now experiencing, reading, and watching, okay, we need to take a look at time travel from the past, origin or root, and up to this today's literary background around the world so that we can compare the old and for the new. Okay? First, the English literature. In the English literature, in order for us to understand the 21st century, we need to see first the contributions of the olds or the roots. We have six period. The Old English literature happened during the 600 to 1100s. Number two, the Middle English literature happened in 1100s to 1500s, followed by Elizabethan literature, 1558 to 603. 1603, I mean. And the Romantic period, the 1800s to 1837. Next, the Victorian period happened during the 1837 and 1900s. And next one, the 20th century, 1900s to 2000. Why is it? As you can see, the Elizabethan period or the Elizabethan literature, we colored it golden yellow and green for 20th century. Let's have a take a look for that. Because lingid sa inyong kalaman, during Elizabethan period or Elizabethan era, the literary piece encountered what we call the golden age of the English literature. Because during the reign of the finest and famous Queen of England, that is Queen Elizabeth I, she produced some of the major famous writers of all time. We have William Shakespeare, who give it to us the Macbeth, Othello, and the love of all time, the undying Romeo and Juliet. Next, we have Christopher Marlowe, who gave it to us the life of Dr. Faustus. Okay, next, Ben Jonson, who give it to us also the Alchemist. Talking about, yes, the plague, which is currently suitable in our time, experiencing pandemic. The golden and new era of English literature happened with these two queens that we have, the Queen Elizabeth I, and for the new era, for the 20th century up to the 21st century, the second Elizabethan period, which is the Queen Elizabeth II, which is considered as the longest reigning serving monarch of the entire world. She surpasses her great grandmother, Queen Victoria. Okay? This is hashtag lingin sa inyong kalaman. She is Queen Elizabeth II, the longest serving monarch in the entire world. Next. So, are you proud now that you are part of this generation? Woo! Very good. So let's start. In the English literature, 21st century, they are always stating the facts that the history remained the outstanding concern of the English literature. For them, history is the foundation of today. We can understand what we are or who we are today without the history or happened in the past. Although contemporary issues such as global warming and international conflicts such as especially the Second Persian Gulf War and its aftermath receive attention up to now, the writers were still more disposed to look back. See, them, they can look back. Us Filipinos must know how to look back. Alam naman natin kung saan tayo nanggaling. Always remember that. Okay? So the first 21st century writer we have is Alan Bini. What is the contribution of Alan Bini? He is the writer of The History Boys, a theatrical play on May 18, 2004. First play yan. And also can have a film adaptation of the story or the play the year 2006. It portrayed pupils in a school in the north of England during 1980s. If you want to watch a glimpse, an excerpt of that play, you can watch it to the link below. Okay? Have a screenshot. Very good. Let's move. Next, my favorite, also a favorite writer of mine, J.K. Rowling. And who is she? Yes, she is the writer of Harry Potter series, what I'm wearing today. She first published her first book, The Philosopher's Stone, during 1997. I have a copy of it. Okay, and finished publishing the last seventh book of the Deathly Hallows during 2007. And also the Harry Potter series translated or adapted in a eighth film because the Deathly Hallows divided into two parts, part 1 and part 2. This series contained the facts of The Boy Who Lived, chronicled the lives of young wizard Harry Potter and his friends Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, all of whom are students at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. This series also received awards such as an ALA Notable Book and many more. You can visit more information about this series in the link below. Okay, you can screenshot or take a picture. Next, let's move on to the next writer. Do you know something about Peter Morgan? Yes, he is the writer of the most controversial, well-known, and talk of the town story, The Crown. Yes, it's a historical drama streaming on television series about the reign of the Queen Elizabeth II and depiction of the life of the royal family. That is first aired in 2006 and can be watched on Netflix. That is some of the finest and well-known creation of the English literature for today's 21st century. I will discuss it to you, the entire famous writings and contributions of it. We will not maybe will not finish it 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so that's it for today. Next, let's move on to the American literature. Okay, in American literature, they started having the total success of their literature during the 20th century. Why? Because during the 20th century, they produced several famous writers such as, let's have a review, Robert Frost, the writer of The Road Not Taken, the famous poem stating, "Which road do you want to use? or maybe this way or that way. Okay, next. E. Cummings, Give It to Us, a poem collections of tulips and chimneys. Next, Ezra Pound, The Cantos. Sherwood Anderson, The Marching Men. Ernest Hemingway, Hills Like White Elephants. And Allen Ginsberg, The America. They always taking majority of them. Their main concern is about the life, the struggles, the self reflection, and obtaining success. Okay, that is the focus of their literary pieces. And for now, for American literature for today's century, they publishes works by contemporary critics and help shape critical opinion regarding literature that to 90th and 20th century in the US. As long as people who live there have been telling stories and stories and stories about their lives, that it can be part of their 21st century literature. Okay, are you ready? Let's have their authors. Okay, their major themes in American literature is the American dream, the coming of age, loss of innocence, alienation and isolation, relationship with science, relationship with society, relationship with nature, disillusionment, survival of the fittest, and rebellion and protest. Those are the major themes of today's literature. You can also observe that to the um, literature pieces that we are going to present today. Okay, first writer, Stephen King. You know something about Stephen King? Yes, he is the writer of the famous horror movie It. Have you watched it? Oh, I have a goosebumps. Yes, that is Pennywise, the evil clown. Yes, he is a cosmic evil, portraying also a shifter, portraying as a clown, taking afraid to the children of the town. Okay, also known as Pennywise or It. You can read it. Okay, next one. The next writer, Stan Lee. Of course, he is the creator of the famous Marvel Comics superheroes, the Avengers, the Amazing Spider-Man, the X-Men, and many more. Okay, maybe all of us grow with the touch of our children books of our childhood days with these superheroes. Okay? Because Stanley is the creator of the superheroes. Next, we have George R. R. Martin. For George R. R. Martin, you can listen for the soundtrack. Dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun. Are you familiar with that soundtrack? Yes, that is the Song of Ice and Fire, which is adapted in a TV series entitled Game of Thrones. Okay, that is a story telling about the different houses of the Westeros vying to become the next leader, monarch, to become the conqueror of the Iron Throne. You can watch it on the HBO channel. Okay, next we have Dan Brown. You know something about Dan Brown? Okay, Dan Brown is the writer of the famous novels The Da Vinci Code, The Origin, Angels and Demons, Deception Point, Dan Brown, Inferno, and The Lost Symbols. That is just only a few of the greatest and famous masterpieces of Dan Brown. Some of it also adapted in a film or in a movie. Okay, maybe you've already watched it. Next, Cassandra Clare. Cassandra Clare is the writer of this series also, the Mortal Instrument series. This series talks about, yes, that is the Mortal Instruments characters, the Shadowhunters. The Shadowhunters, also known as the Nephilim. Nephilim term for use as the children of Angel Raziel. Angel Raziel is an archangel. Give it to them, a human being, a mortal cup. Whoever's drink in the mortal cup can have be part of the part angel and part human, and you can have a superpower to control and to kill demons, which is they are all around the world, and we can borrow some powers about the Nephilim. Okay, you can also watch this series adapted in Netflix. Okay, that's right. Just only few of it. Okay, relax. I will also present to you some of it next meeting. Okay, next session natin. But for now, that's all for today. Maybe, are you ready to have an activity? Okay, let's have an activity. For this activity, I want you to write E if the literary piece belongs to the English literature and A if belongs to the American literature. And write your answers in your answer sheets intended for this module. Do not forget it. And especially, answer only. Okay. First, the History Boys. Number 2, the Da Vinci Code. Number 3, Harry Potter. Number 4, the Song of Ice and Fire. Number 5, the Crown. Number 6, the Mortal Instruments. Number 7, Inferno. Number 8, The Avengers. Number 9, Eat. Number 10, Deception Point. Let's assume that you are done. Yay! That is the correct answer for the 10 items. Hopefully, I can see your answers in your answer sheet next schedule of your retrieval. That is, woo, hashtag CCU. But for now, let's have an analytic way to continue to sharpen and strengthen your understanding about the English and American literature. Using the Venn diagram, let's have this illustration, the Venn diagram. Okay, I will allow you to screenshot or take a picture with our illustration. Okay, very good. Next, in a 5 minutes, using the Venn diagram, compare and contrast characteristics, themes, and elements and structure of the English and American literature. Okay, draw and write your answers in a 1/2 sheet of paper crosswise. Okay, and pass it to me on our next answer sheets retrieval schedule. Keep being posted. Do not forget to read always the announcement on our group chat. Okay, next. Of course, nowadays we are still having the painting as a symbolism of picture. Let's have the appreciation of artwork. Symbolizes the real big picture of the 21st century. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, now I will allow you to take a picture again and screenshot of our picture that we are going to use for this activity. Are you done? Okay, very good. Let's have a disclaimer and also copyright. Jeff Wall, after Invisible Man, by Ralph Ellison. Okay, thank you so much for having this picture. Okay, using the given picture, how can you describe the English and American literature in 5 words? Only 5 words. And why? Maybe in explaining the first word, you can only write 1 sentence. Okay? 1 sentence will do. And as a whole, how can the picture depict the contribution of the English and American literature in the literary heritage? So what is the contribution in the big picture as a whole and generalization? How can the English and American literature be depicted in the picture? Okay? And your comment, your answers in our 21st century group chat. And then later on, I will check it on my mobile phone, your answers. Okay? Let's proceed. Based on the lessons, contents of the literary pieces that we discussed today, I want you to apply it on your own. Why? Sir, why? Yes, because I want you to choose only one literary piece that was presented earlier. Okay? Maybe you may or may not read it yet, like this. If you want to choose one and you not yet read it, you can borrow books from me. Okay? The Mortal Instruments also, I have here. Okay? And the Game of Thrones, and the Harry Potter, and some literary piece again for the 21st century if you want to read it. Okay? And look for the moral or lesson of the piece. In 5 to 10 sentences, how can you apply it now as a senior high school student? Okay? Use the MS Word with the 11 font size, Times New Roman as your font, single spacing, default margin, and post it on our section group page. Do not forget it. Okay? Next. Yay! Are you ready for our assessment? Okay, let's check. Mate. Let's check your prior knowledge or your back knowledge if you really listen and enjoy this topic for today. Ready? Okay. You may write your answers on your answer sheets. First question. Each question, by the way, you have 5 seconds to think for your answer. Okay, number 1, who is the author of The Crown? A. Dan Brown. B. Peter Morgan. C. Alan Bini. D. Stephen King. 5 seconds. Time is up, and the correct answer is Peter Morgan, letter B. And that is the cast of the season 1 to season 2 of The Crown. Next one. Stupefy! Stupefy! Is the favorite spell use of the main character of what literary piece? A. The History Boys. B. It. C. Mortal Instruments. Or letter D. Harry Potter. 5 seconds. Time is up! And the correct answer is B. Harry Potter. Yes. Hashtag lingid sa inyong kaalaman, Harry Potter himself always used the word stupefy or the spell stupefy during his different duels, especially the duel of Harry Potter versus you know who or you does not the name. Yes, Lord Voldemort. And also, Harry Potter belongs to the house Gryffindor. Okay. Next, number 3. In which literary piece you can find this dialogue? I will take what is mine with fire and blood. A. Angels and Demons. B. The Crown. C. Game of Thrones. D. The Mortal Instruments. 5 seconds. Time is up, and the correct answer is the Game of Thrones. Yan. That is the line given to us or delivered to us by Daenerys Stormborn Targaryen, the only living daughter of Aegon Targaryen, who unified the Westeros and created the Iron Throne. Okay, next. Number 4. Who is the creator of The Amazing Spider-Man? Okay, letter A, Stan Lee. B, Cassandra Clare. C, George R. R. Martin. D. J.K. Rowling. 5 seconds. Time is up! And the correct answer is... Yes, the Undying Stan Lee. He created Spider-Man and first appeared in the newspaper comic strip on January 3, 1977. Hashtag lingi sa inyong kalaman, Stanley's first creation of all the superheroes in the Marvel Comics is Spider-Man. Yes. And last question for today's assessment, we have in Claire's Mortal Instruments series, what is the term for the children of Angel Raziel? A. Muggles. B. Nephilim. C. Majesty. D. Pureblood. 5 seconds. Time is up! And the correct answer is B. Nephilim. As you all can see in the picture of the young boy there, okay, in his body, there is a drawing. That is not just a drawing, you know. Hashtag lingid sa inyong kalaman, Nephilim, also known as the children of Angel Raziel, they are having a drawing in their body, on their body, what they call runes. Those runes are not just a tattoo or tattoo. That is also a magical rune that can give them special powers like an angel to protect themselves while they are having a war against the demons. Okay? Okay, I hope. Who got 5, 4, 3, 2? Okay, I can see it. I can still also detect it on your answer sheets. But for now, before we end this session, you have still a work to do. Okay, but still you are enjoying, I hope. So, okay. For your assignment, choose one literary piece from the English and American literature. And in which character do you really believe that you are like him or her? Like what I'm wearing today as your literature wizard for today, I'm portraying Harry Potter as my idol. And I believe that I'm like him. Okay? And write 2 to 3 sentences of explanation with a picture of yours portraying the character. Send your output in my Gmail account. Later on, you will have my Gmail account. Okay? And that's right. Thank you so much for having me and for having you in my discussion. For any questions, you can also email me in enricolee.suarez.deped.gov.ph. Okay, you can send it there, your outputs, and also you can have a chat with me, the messenger of our group chat, the name Enrico Lee Suarez. Okay, see you to our next lesson. Okay, for the credits of our presentation for today. Okay, that's right. Okay, now I hope you enjoy our discussion for this quarter 2, module 2, part 1 of our discussion. So do not forget to like and subscribe if this video is being uploaded in our DCNHS SHS YouTube channel. Do not forget to like it and subscribe it, okay? And you can comment down below. But for now, I hope you learned something from me today. And bear with me, even we are facing this kind of pandemic, we still need to pursue and continue our discussion in order for you to equip your mind. Okay, do not forget also our hashtag schools, hashtag ML tayo, hashtag handa isip, handa bukas. Okay, so see you in the next session. Bye!